Hello and welcome to, well, look, we have sunshine, we have blue skies here in Yorkshire. I think we've got a bit of the New Zealand skyline today, and the sun is out. Yes, it's warm, but it's very windy. However, that's not going to stop me today, because today, well, I hope you're well. I hope you're sitting comfortably, got your feet up, relaxed, and well, I hope you're having a cuppa. And welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Oh, here we go again. Why, that's bright. Over the years here on the allotment, I've talked about my battle with bindweed and have had a beautiful message. Well, I say beautiful message. It was a message of heartfelt frustration from Carol. Carol, you've got a plot, an area of land, and you are plagued with bindweed. You know what? Whatever you've done, you're just not getting on top of it, and that's really unfortunate, actually, because you've tried everything. You say you have tried the sprays, which you didn't want to do, but you have tried digging it up, chopping it off, everything the simplest way. And I know you've probably tried this, and this is why you're getting really frustrated. I would start at your borders first. Start at the edge of your plot, and I know you've probably done this, and it takes some doing. You've got to systematically have a go. Now, what you can do, which is a slow process, and I know you're battling against it because you're all by yourself, and it is a slow process, is to take yourself, say, a foot square, or even if you can manage it, a metre square, and mark it off, a bit like doing an archaeological dig. So you know that is a square. And then within that square, on the boundary edges, so you've got four corners on your boundary, obviously, and then your four straight lines. You dig along the boundary and dig down and get as much of the bindweed out as you possibly can. Once you've done your edges, hopefully then there's nothing coming in from the sides. So fingers crossed there. And get as much as it. Now the problem with bindweed is, and as you know, it's one of those pernicious roots. It just goes on and on and on. And actually, you'll probably see why in a minute if you've never had bindweed. Here's mine. Some of mine that I got up the other week. This was over near the strawberries. So this is the stuff that's come from the strawberries. It's just been laid on the top here, so it's drying out nicely, away from anything it can grow from. But it is slowly, and will slowly die off enough eventually to be able to go onto my fire when it's dry properly. Yeah, so devil's gut, horrible stuff. If you can't dig out, Carol, then the other option is to, obviously, because let me get a piece here, let me find a piece here. As you know, Carol, this is under the surface. I mean, it can also run along the top of your ground. It doesn't necessarily have to go inside. So if you see this, say this part is sticking up out of the ground, so we've got the ground there, it's to literally cut it off. So we're going to just cut off, bang it level with the ground, like that. And so, yes, the rest of this is in the ground. But what happens is every single, and that takes some doing as well, and I've done it. Every single time you see a new shoot come up, you take it off before it can grow out. Because what happens is it will keep sending all of this energy into that bit. So try and regrow, cut, regrow, cut, regrow, cut. So whenever you see stuff come out, cut it back to the floor. Because eventually what it does is it just runs out of steam, and it will eventually give up in that area. We are talking possibly up to a year, maybe. I know you've been at it a long time, but stick with it. You have to get a bit, and I know you have been, is to come down every single day. I do here, come down, look and go, I've seen some. I'm lucky here now, so I've got a lot of raised beds, so the soil is looser. So I can dig down as well to find where it is and get as much of the root as you can. If you can't do that, and you want to try and you bring it to the surface in a way, cover it, put tarpaulin all over it so that it can't get any direct sunlight. Because obviously it sticks its shoot up, the leaf come out, and that's where the energy is in the leaf. It collects all the energy from the sun and the rain and takes it back into the plant. If you can cover that, then it'll stop it being able to grow. you may get masses underneath, because I did once. I had tarpaulin down, brought it up, and it was all on the surface, which actually meant two things. One is I knew exactly where it was, and the second is I could cut it back. I knew exactly where it was coming into my allotment, so I could dig around that area. And then of course you can cut it off, and because it's on the surface, very gently, if you pull it, everything that will come with it, and then you can get rid of it en masse. But it is one of those roots that you have to keep going and going. I know you're at your wit's end, you've had enough of it, but honestly, every time you see something come out, don't even bother digging. Just cut it off at the surface. Every single shoot you see, cut it off, and it will eventually wear itself out, and it will have had enough, and it won't grow anymore, believe it or not, because it burns itself out. So I'm sure all of my viewers, Carol, and myself send you the best wishes in this fight that we all have against bindweed. So fingers crossed, keep us posted, keep us up to date. Even try a small area, cut it back to the ground, keep cutting it back, keep cutting it back, and eventually, I promise, it will stop. So thank you for your wonderful, I suppose, problem, but a great text. Thanks for sharing as well, and I hope we've helped in some way. And anybody out there having problems with their bindweed, then this is how it is. I'm really sorry. You just have to be really methodical about it, and it will come back. But then if you keep cutting it back, I'm going on. I know I'll stop talking about it now, but fingers crossed for you, Carol. Now, what's been going on here? Well, a peculiar thing started to happen in my chili peppers. This is really good quality compost. Bought compost, yes, but really good quality. Very expensive bags. It's under lights, on heat, and it's moistured, it's wet, it's beautiful. A good growing area for the seeds. Now, I got really excited because I thought, oh look, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. And I've taken this picture today. So here you are. You have a look at that and I'll talk you over it. There's a green shoot there, can you see? And that is a chili plant. Now this is a wider shot, and here we see some very peculiar, strange, really weedy looking plants. And they look a little bit like mushrooms. And they probably are some form of mould mushroom, but they've come out of this compost. It's happened before. I bought cheaper composts. And sometimes, but all you do is just take them off, just pull them up, and they'll just disintegrate. And actually, you could leave them in there, but no, I'd get rid of them. You could even just leave them on top because it will go back into the compost. So I'm squinting a bit because I'm filming in sunshine, which is absolutely lovely. So I'm keeping a really good eye on this because I want to make sure that I get some nice chilies. But I've got at least one, which is a start, because that's cost me nothing already if it comes out, because that's from an old seed packet that I used last year, and I got enough from last year, so hopefully we'll get some more this year. I'm aiming hopefully for about 2 chili plants. I think that's all I need this year, because then I can really dedicate my time to those chilies. And they're the cayenne or cayenne peppers, and they're the hot ones. And fingers crossed we'll get some of those. Tomatoes aren't yet coming out, but it's only been about a week, so they'll be hopefully brewing nicely under the ground. However, my garlic's gone a bit bonkers. So here's a photograph of the garlic. As you can see, it's really shooting up now. So they will have to be transplanted into bigger pots, and then we can get something else into those trays. Isn't that exciting? And my sprouts are coming. I'm going to be careful here because my sprouts are getting a bit leggy. That's because they're in there 24 hours a day with light. Now normally they will come up nice and slowly, but I think a combination of the heat in there. So I'm now going to take them off the heat pads and just leave them on the side in there so they can now develop. The longer ones, I'm very carefully, I will take out and put back into another pod and put them right up to their leaves so that all of the stem and the stalk we can see there. It's very, very delicate, so it's a big, delicate operation. Shouldn't really do until they're a lot bigger. But if you hold onto the leaves very carefully, wedge them out, put them in a big hole, stick them back in, and gently let the soil come up against the stem. They will grow roots out and be a lot stronger. Another option of doing is I can pretend to be the wind. We've talked about this before. Because they're inside at the moment, they've got nothing to make their stems strong. So every so often just brush your hands gently across the top of the plant, or you can blow, or even you can get a little fan and just replicate the lovely, well, like we have today, the lovely wind that's happening. So I hope you've enjoyed today's. It's a little shorter today, all about bindweed, I know, but this stuff, as I said, the devil's gut. There you are, look at that. And I hope, Carol, I really hope that you get on top of this horrible root. I said, I've got plenty here, but yes, get your tarpaulin down or your ground cover, whatever you can if you want to do that, and then just start working in patches. You could even dig that out and make it as though it's a raised bed. So whatever you're growing around, and it will eventually tire itself out, and it will eventually disappear. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. It's been great having him on board, and I hope you've not enjoyed the bindweed special, but well, yeah, we have to enjoy it because we have to get on top of it. You know my big bugbear is bindweed, and we have a running battle every year since we started doing these. We always talk about bindweed, so I'm afraid, Carol, it is a long process. But there are areas now within my allotment that I'm not getting bindweed because they're the areas that over time and over this season again, I will get on top of it for the growing season. It will eventually disappear. Well, I'm going to shut up. I mean, this sunshine here today is really, really warm. In fact, it's interesting because a few of the neighbours are out on the allotments today and they're prepping for their season ahead. Right, I'm going this time. So, ta-ra for now.